Mrs. Ryan's already laughing. Time to push the button. It's the Thursday show. Yay!
Yay!
I'm coming, Mrs. Ryan.
Fixing the cameras again.
Yeah, well, Chad. I noticed one is, and that one's a little low too. You know, I'm a weird Rain Man-y kind of perfectionist brain kind of guy. So I see, every pixel off is, irritates me. You would think everything. In fact, I bet people at home probably think they're all hard mounted, like a Joe Rogan show or whatever. Not that they're all on different tripods and movable.
They are not.
Well, because how we shoot the show is like real. Television used to be, and that is in that all the cameras move. This home base. That's why they call this home base. This stays here, and then everything else kind of rotates around it. All the crew, all the people, all the jobs.
Yeah,
moving pieces.
cameras moved.
All right, now that we've gotten Late Night Talk Show 101 out of the way, good grief, let's start the show. Get things going here. What's happening, Mrs. Ryan? Gosh, you look good. Look at that face. Pretty faces.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back to you also at home. Welcome back to the old Late Night Playset. It is Thursday, October 17th, 2019. Our guest today is Ron Goodman, all the way from Australia. Can't even start. I don't even know what to say. He's going to tell us the whole story, but he was supposed to come out for SEMA, and there was a whole deal, and of course that in itself is a big deal. And then that got canceled, and then he still flew out to do. This was like an add-on to SEMA, which makes perfect sense to me.
I'm beside myself.
If he goes
this
away,
guy,
I would think, he'll come back another time.
I would, and that's what I said to him. Like, why didn't you tell me that moved?
It's very.
I am in love with this guy.
Me too. It's incredible. Nice. I already see gifts over there in that chair. It's a good day all around. Mrs. Ryan, we have a lot of stuff to get through, however, so I'm going to start with how are you feeling? How are you doing? You look lovely as usual, maybe even better than usual. You're glowing. It makes it, whatever.
That does not sound right.
But you are.
I'm over medicating myself, and that's letting my body not feel the pain.
Oh.
But it's I figured out a way to let my brain keep working.
That's okay.
Which is great. It just was a long process to figure that out, but I'm here.
It's a balance. It's such a balance. People don't really realize maybe that part of what you go through. It's tough because you do have something that can quell the pain a bit, but it turns your brain off. And then what good are then great. So it's kind of it's a lose-lose, like then you get off the stuff and fix the brain, and then your brain can't function because it's distracted by how much the body hurts. I mean, it's a really effed up thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I feel the need to talk about it and sort of extrapolate whenever possible, so that other people know not only what you're going through, but what sometimes other people are going through. You're not the only person who has this.
I'm not the only person. Thank you so much for pointing this out, though, because I don't know how to articulate it sometimes, and I just am a weird blob.
Medicate really well, and you do it. Fine. No problem.
Right.
All right. Mrs. Ryan, let's see. We tried to, yesterday on the show, record a commercial. We tried to record a commercial for our podcast. That's right, the Late Night Playset podcast.
Audio.
It's the same show, but it's minus all the video. Much easier to produce. And it's on the Anchor FM. We highly recommend you go download the Anchor app, although we're available on all the podcast platforms. Let's see. So I believe the issue yesterday was a user error on my behalf because I did not allow the microphone access, and everything is... you can change every possible...
Right.
Apple used to be, no, it's our way and it's the right way and you conform. Nowadays, they're just like PC and everything else. Every possible thing is modifiable and customizable. So with that, I don't always know what the hell I'm doing, that's for sure. All right, Anchor, tap to record. Let's go back to this, Mrs. Ryan.
Okay.
And there's a script. And if you were watching yesterday, the reason we're doing this in front of you, it seems weird, I know. It is weird, I know. You've seen us grow through every single part of this process, from literally starting going, we don't know what we're doing, but hi, thanks, to getting incredible guests and taking our show on the road now. So anyway, we're learning how to do commercials. This is part of it. Now we've gotten to a place where we are going to become I don't want to say we're a sales tool or a product to sell things. However, we need to pay for this product. and there's a lot of people who want to blah blah blah. We need to start doing commercials. This
We're
is
a
just part of the
fun
process.
outlet.
Part of the process.
And everyone's along the ride.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
Tap here to start recording. All right, so there's this stuff on the script we have to say, but it says, these are the required points to express in your ad. Feel free to paraphrase and speak from your own experience. All right, I don't expect this to go well. Ready?
Ready?
I guess this is just it. We're already starting, Mrs. Ryan.
We're
All right.
starting.
Well, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free, okay? Second of all, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I'm doing it right now. We are sitting in a studio that has so much equipment in it. It's incredible, a full television studio, and yet I'm recording this commercial on my iPhone. And Mrs. Ryan is also on my iPhone. Hi, Mrs. Ryan.
Fantastic. Hello.
Forgot to mention that. People are going to hear this over and over and over. Let's see. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. The mandatory call to action that everyone must say when doing this read is download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Thanks so much. There we go. How'd that go? It's right on time. We nailed it.
That was pretty good.
Okay. 1 second over, but I'm sure there's an I could cut. I do
Right.
that a lot.
That was
All right.
fun.
Yeah, well, submit. Submitting your ad. Please leave this screen until we're done. All right, so that's it. We all did it.
We did an
Congratulations,
ad.
everybody. Thank you for your
Yay.
participation in that.
Thanks,
That
everyone.
was fun. I don't know if it was fun or not, but we got through it.
Hey, man.
I'm
it's all part of the
so
process.
happy it's over. I think that's what's going on. All right, Mrs. Ryan, the regular parts of the show. We have an East Coast feed. We have a TBT. Obviously, Dave Watch. What would you like to do first?
East Coast feed.
East Coast feed. Let's roll it back to the East Coast of this very continent, North America. I have to be very specific which coast, which continent. We have someone from Australia here today. Let us roll it back to the East Coast of this very continent. I believe we are in Connecticut. Let's check in with Danbury Chive, Brooke and the Casman. Roll it out.
Yeah, we're good. Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, look. It's Brooke, the Casman, the other Casman. It's a random weekday night, and it's family night. Here we're doing a comedy movie. And Brooke did not want to watch Team America. She chose Gentlemen Broncos. So we're going to see how that goes. She's a fan of Napoleon, and it's a fun thing like that. Guys, anything else to say today?
Chick-fil-A is delicious.
And obviously, Michael, the Chick-fil-A plug. But how about this? I'm just drinking some tea. Excuse me.
Hey, nice mug.
Oh, it's a beautiful mug. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's it. Want to send some random love to you guys on the weekday from Casa de Kaz.
We didn't get married.
And yeah, we didn't get married yet. Thanks, Brooke, with her funny joke and everything.
Power of yet.
Oh, boy. There's
Love you guys.
Tight,
Bye.
very tight. Oh, that was great. I was like, man, this is good. They're all wrapped up here, and then blah, blah, at the end. God, I love you, Mikey. Love the whole thing. I feel like if anybody doesn't, I don't know where to start. I feel like everybody should probably go watch Team America right now. It seems pretty relevant.
Yeah. And it's a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you can get past the puppet humor and the South Park of it all, what that movie says is, it just seems relevant
It's
right now.
pretty-
Feels very relevant. I mean, relevant
pretty
like
clear.
even to the weak. It's crazy pants.
I will high five remotely to Kaz because he made me watch that too.
How's this for a weekend double feature? Check that out, and then also maybe package it with Idiocracy.
Oh, yeah.
They're two completely different movies, but they both feel pretty relevant.
They're
these
pretty
days.
good. And fun.
Yeah, and one's the Team America guys, and one's the Office Space guys. So you're guaranteed South Park guys, and one is the Office Space guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So stupid.
Either way, they're pretty fun.
All right. Ah, shit, I've got the wrong thing. I'm all distracted. It's a good day. We're really excited. We already really like our guest a lot if we didn't mention that. Let's see. What next, Mrs. Ryan? TBT or Dave Watch?
Dave Watch.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Then TBT, please.
No, it's whatever you want. You want the Dave Watch. Let's do it. Oh. See? Hang on. Back to the studio. Woo! Hi, producer Kate.
Oh,
gee
my.
whiz. I mean, let's push all the buttons. Why don't we? Good grief. right, let's
Oh,
see.
the Thursday show.
No, it's good. TBT. Let's see where the heck we were at some point in the past. Roll it, Hal.
She's like, I've just had way too much stimulation. I hear it. Oh, there it is.
Sorry about that.
What's up, fella? Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the mountain. Thank you for being with us today. Shout out to Derek Whitaker, though, from that video there. A lot of stupid car in that video, especially with the good morning at the end. Oh, not stupid car. In that case, it was the other car. But Derek Whitaker has been working on stupid car for, of course, the Targa Baja, which is going on very soon, if not this week. I think it's really, like, maybe this weekend, maybe starts. It's very soon, very soon.
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, good luck to all those guys. And I hope Derek makes another movie, because his We Live Machinery, available on Chassis Media, is a heck of a good watch. A lot of fun.
Very fun.
Yeah. I always tell people, it's like, I don't. What's it like? Well, I don't know. It's not really a story about a rally. It's more like, you want to know what it's like to go on one of those rallies? Watch this movie.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, highly recommend. With that, Mrs. Ryan, it's time to. Yeah, it's my favorite.
Oh, I love their
Something
music
about
to
here.
it
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna. Well, and it's the old music from this
Yeah.
time and everything. There's something so funny about it. I mean, it really is. I think I've already deleted it, but that Jay Leno clip of, what are you going to take from the set? You going to take any souvenirs? No, I'm not going to take any souvenirs. I don't want to act like Rupert Pupkin and set it up and hang on, let me get this right. Be one of those creepy guys who sets it up in their house and plays the Tonight Show. All right, Jay, you're right up the street. I'm going to remember all of that
Here
stuff
we
when
go.
it comes out. He's going to be sitting here at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Someday.
It'll be fun to see him here.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right to have him before Dave.
No.
I'm pretty sure Dave's going to happen. Oh, hey, what a great time to talk about that. Hey, speaking of which, today is October 17th. I'm writing an X on the 17th to denote that David Letterman is not sitting in that very empty chair. Show you just to confirm. However, if you've been paying attention to our show or listening at all to Mrs. Ryan and myself, that's pretty much all we're talking about. We are very excited about the fact that we are making progress. This is not a dead end, so it's exciting. when we have more information, we will share it with you. As of right now, Dave's mulling it over.
We're on the ride.
Yeah.
Like the commercial.
Yeah,
But
we
for
got
us,
to got
for
to Dave
real
though.
life.
It's up to him at this point. And when the timing and all that, that'll just play out however it plays out.
That is the
whether or not it
coolest.
happens comes down to whether or not Dave wants to. And I just don't see a world where he's not intrigued by this entire thing.
I'm with you.
Yeah. In fact, it'll be nice to get this show and all of this stuff made it to Australia. It'd be interesting to get an outsider's perspective, somebody who has the distance and the ability, the perspective to be so far away, and look at all the pieces.
That's a great
Know what I'm saying,
focus.
Mrs. Ryan? Is that it? It's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What's going on, Mrs. Ryan?
I'm pretty proud of this today. I'm going to bring it full circle for our guest. I'm so excited. But first, there's, up near Alaska, which I always forget is connected because on maps it is separate, like Hawaii.
Your heritage home country is in between. It's all land. Be weird if nature made that straight line at the bottom of
Here's the
Alaska,
deal,
wouldn't it?
man. I'm directionally challenged.
Very handy for all the fishing boats.
I'm owning it. Like, I don't know directions, and I really am bad with geography.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
in the meantime, there was something I didn't know, and I'm not sure if I'm alone in this. I don't think so. Volcanoes, I only know as being the land that have lava, but they
Whoa, what?
volcanoes are on land and they spew lava, right? That's volcanoes.
I mean,
Stereotypically. My story is that there's
you're right about
underwater
the
one.
lot. It's a call. I'm going to try to relate this in the most simple terms about. It's an earth pimple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where stuff's coming out of it because it has to secretions from the earth, right? And I believe it comes from the magma, whatever the lava's from the magma. In that, we just watched that movie, The Core, recently. Sometimes Mrs. Ryan likes disaster movies. This is not a particularly good one, but the script was interesting. But for the same reason, so like Hawaii, was Hawaii came from volcanoes at the bottom of the ocean? Would you call that land? It's land now, but because of the volcanoes.
Okay.
So much. Pimple stuff came out that it broke the surface of the water.
Okay. Well, my story is, I guess, the precursor to that is that volcanoes underwater are a big deal up near Alaska, near the Bering Sea. Like, it's on that ridge where that show I like, Deadliest Catch.
Yes. Shout out to George Puckaber. I believe that's one of his.
Oh, yeah. Hi, George. I love that show. Anyway, there's new studies being done on these underwater volcanoes, and it turns out that most of them do stick above land, but the secretions and stuff come out from vents on the side that are still underwater. And
okay. Okay, sure. That makes. I'll buy that. That was not previously known, though.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though. I buy that from an engineering standpoint. At a certain point, this isn't the easiest way. You know what I mean? Life finds a way.
The minute I read it, it made perfect sense of, like, there's gases and other elements in the volcano.
I think of it as a cracked cylinder head or something like that for a car person. And of course, that stuff's going to come out some other way then.
I went to therapy for a while, and she used to say to me often, things will come out sideways if you don't let them come out how they're supposed to.
Oh,
and
emotions and stuff?
Yeah, so
when you're processing things.
It made perfect sense that, like, volcanoes have other elements to them that come out through vents and stuff. So, underwater volcanoes, guys.
I tell you what, I think I just smelled the next disaster movie, maybe Tommy Lee Jones' finest picture.
Whoever
Volcano. Right here in Los Angeles, where I believe I don't want to give anything away for the spoilers, but the whole thing takes place right in front of the damn Peterson Auto Museum, so it's a good car movie.
Great, I'll get on writing that. That's a great idea.
Back in the old days when the big monster truck was out front before they did that crazy beautiful, crazy beautiful remodel.
Love that movie also. I did not know that Dyson was even near the electronic vehicle market.
Dyson, the vacuum people?
Yes.
Yeah, they're engineering people, the fans and all that stuff.
Yeah, did you know they were going to make an electric car?
I'm going to say no, but I feel like I think they're a government contractor over there as well, Dyson. So I think that they were involved in that, do you remember the Top Gear episode where there was a lunar rover that they drove around Earth, but it was built?
Yeah.
I think they might have had something to do with that. Or stuff like that.
Okay, well,
I think they're like a General Electric. They make things for us, but they also make things for government, et cetera, et cetera.
Got it. Well, that makes sense because they've officially taken themselves out of the electronic vehicle market in that they're not going to make that, but they're really looking forward in putting their money and the research attention into the batteries.
Oh, yeah. Smart.
Which makes perfect sense.
None of this is possible without the batteries.
And that's where they're kind of found. They're like, we're not going to make cars. We make vacuum cleaners and hair dryers. So that's what but they're like battery life is what sustains all of it.
Yeah, it's still so interesting and impressive. I think the future somehow is going to shift to capacitors
You think?
instead of
That
batteries.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know. I mean, you'll still need both, but I don't know why I say that. I think that the new hybrid technology will be some sort of battery capacitor hybrid. I've been saying this for years. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Back to the Future influence. 1.21 gigawatts. It's what makes time travel possible. Holy crap. Moving on, Mrs. Ryan. Sorry about that.
Moving on. There was a kid. Okay, this is what brings everything full circle. These last two stories. There was a kid in Iowa City that got arrested for underage drinking. Not awesome. But when he was asked about what he was doing, the cops didn't know about Superbad, and they found the McLovin ID that he'd bought for $6.95, the replica in his wallet.
That was his fake ID. He used the McLovin one that anybody could buy on the
Yes.
It's interesting to us specifically. I don't think the wide shot will. Oh, maybe your shot will. I don't think you'll be able to see it. There it is. Yeah, there's literally a super bad picture next to you, that's got all sorts of things written to you from the cast of that movie because you opened that movie.
Yeah, I was part of the force that made that movie what it was. It's
but you
so
worked with the
big.
kids before they were. I mean, Jonah had been in movies, and help me,
Michael
Cera had been on I think the other show, the stuff. But so they were famous, but they got famous during that.
They got hugely famous from this movie, and I know Chris Mintz-Plasse, the McLovin character.
He signed it too, yeah, even though he's not in the picture.
He's just the nicest, and so this kid that got arrested, the mugshot is hilarious because he's like clearly like, I got away with something that I should not have gotten away with for as long as I did because this movie's Googleable.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I wonder how many people saw it, thought it was funny, just let it happen.
I thought the same
That's
thing.
you know what I mean? I go back to the movie Clerks, and I think like those guys would have just been, they raise an eyebrow like, the gall on this one. All right.
Totally.
Give it to him,
Let him do it.
Six-pack of beer. It's probably Zima.
Probably. So, love that movie. And then, lastly, there is a France zoological park that is for the first time going to be including in its display what they're calling the Blob, which they're taking from the Steve McQueen movie.
Yeah.
But it's
not his most famous movie. Oh, that's a great horror movie.
It's a horror movie, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's great, too.
It's a unit in France, this thing. It's a yellow unicellular organism that can move like 4 centimeters an hour. It's like an inch and a half, I think, a little more. But they're calling it the Blob. It doesn't have a brain and it doesn't have a mouth, but it likes oatmeal and it grows that way. It lives on trees.
It's a weird time. It's definitely a weird time. This is a completely unrelated story, and I'm going to get the name of the fish wrong, so I don't want to say it, but there is currently, this is an actual epidemic somewhere in this country, and probably other places in the world, because we've all thought we knew what was going on for an awfully long time. There is a type of fish that can survive out of water. I know. And supposedly, if you even see one, if you catch one immediately, but if you even see one, you're supposed to call authorities. If you catch one, you're told to kill it immediately. Do not do anything but kill it and tell somebody immediately. It's like some new race of fish that can live on water. And they're like, if you see one, you got to kill it immediately. I'm not even kidding. You'll have to look it up and see what the fish is called. I can't remember, but it's one of those things where I'm like, all right. And people are worried about, the humans can't even get along. I mean, it's a weird time.
It's totally weird. And these last two stories made me realize the McLovin and the Blob, because they're calling the Blob slime, like the movie, like Ghostbusters, and everything that was in the movie.
By the way, maybe it's that. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is Ghostbusters 2, and it's slime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
maybe everything has like a kernel of truth in it.
There's a lot of negative energy going on in the world these days. And if you watch Ghostbusters 2 or any of that stuff, it always kind of like Tomorrowland, of course, same thing. Yeah. Just be happy. Hey! And that's been What's Going On, Mrs. Ryan? Man, oh man, were we long-winded. There was so much stuff today. I think that commercial really put a jam in our things. All right, Ron Goodman's here. We got to get him in here. Let's take a quick break, Mrs. Ryan. We're going to take a quick
Can't
break.
wait to see.
When we come back, Ron Goodman's going to be sitting in that chair right there. More to come right after this.
Follow your dreams, or they'll chase you forever. They'll chase you forever. They'll chase you forever.
I need to be somewhere where the people appreciate sensitivity and art and romance. And where the people understand and appreciate me.
Then I have a great idea. Leave!
So what's your deal?
Hi.
I know when a person's had sex and when they haven't.
Just your type, huh? She's everyone's type.
She's the next Valentina.
You ready?
Next Vera Wang.
Yes. You're talented.
She's the best. The best. The best designer in all of LA. Show 'em, Jazz.
Bam!
What is this?
Does someone want their allowance?
Please, Daddy. Please. Guy I know likes it.
But you're a lesbian.
Who told you that?
Not afraid if I'm blind or I'm far.
People don't really make fun of you for being different anymore. They kind of think it's cool.
Okay, well then what are you?
Kind of admire.
What are you?
What do you mean? But they're still them.
I like girls. I'm a queer. I'm gay.
And you're still you.
That's great, but I'm not.
Then what are you then?
We're not doing anything wrong.
Don't worry about being anywhere, just wherever you're most comfortable. All right, and with that, we are back sitting here with Ron Goodman all the way in from Australia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you. This is a great opportunity for me. It's
Well, what
I'm
do you
in
think?
awe.
What do
I'm
you
in awe.
think? Oh,
Totally
thank you
in
so
awe,
much.
you know.
Thank you so much.
So professional. You know. Really, really good.
That's our goal a little bit here. You know, we're trying to make something of this that was always a little bit more than I think most people thought we were going for. So there was a confusing period of what the hell are they doing? And now we're finally, I think, cresting a hill where people can see at least what the goal was.
Yeah. I think that you guys have probably always had the vision, and you're sort of there now. You know, like it's really, I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Thank you, brother.
Impressed.
Well, let's start with the fact that this was supposed to be an add-on to your SEMA trip.
Yeah, well,
and then
every year me and my wife go to SEMA. That's religious because that's her birthday. Unfortunately, this year things have changed, but I'd already said to you guys that we'd come here, so I didn't want to let you down. So, and it gave me a couple of days off work. So,
okay.
There we go.
The truth comes out. That makes sense. Well, we couldn't be more appreciative. It means the world to us that you came at all, that this was included, and that you stuck to and came anyway. I couldn't help but notice there's a whole chair full of stuff there. You came with, I'm assuming, a whole carry-on for us.
Yeah.
What is all this stuff?
We always, when we race, we have the boxing kangaroo as a thing. So I had to bring that for Nicole.
This. I love this. That's amazing. Oh, go ahead.
So great.
And then just some of our team apparel that, from where we race.
Fantastic.
Thank
you so
sloppy
very
Joes,
much.
or you guys call them hoodies. We call them sloppy Joes.
Oh, I love hoodies.
That's Mrs. Ryan's favorite. I didn't know they were called sloppy Joes. Neither one of us did. Sloppy Joes are her favorite. Oh, look at this. This is
Hoodies
great.
and zippies, man. That's awesome.
23. So the 0023 is, of course, your rating.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have had Speed 23, but someone else had that, so I had to go 0023.
I was going to say. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
That's
and what's
awesome.
this here? Good grief.
It's a sloppy donut T-shirt for, and this is the.
Oh,
just some
wow.
pins and a car badge.
They're
This is
really,
incredible.
really cool pins.
Thank you so much. Australian Outlaw, Ron Goodman Racing. Very, very cool. We'll get a close-up of that, and I'll put it in later. Oh, how about this? You're right here, and we'll just do it. Beautiful. That is the coolest, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin anything, but this may actually be finding a way on our car because I've been thinking about a way to do this on our modern. So this may work out just fine. Otherwise, it's going in our set. You are very, very kind and generous. Thank you so much for all that stuff.
No problem.
Bag and a Porsche official bag, no less.
Yeah, that's where we do the ice driving each year, so I had to bring it in something for you. So.
Is that an experience?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh, I
love
it.
Porsche experience one. Yeah.
Well, that's even better. Yeah. Couldn't be more on brand.
On brand.
And you've heard that we're going to be doing our show at the Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. I've been down there a few times with Eric. Eric Scamancio.
Yes, he's a big supporter of ours.
Yeah, his dad's someone you should get on too.
Okay, why don't you tell me why? Because everyone's saying, man, you got to hear this family story. And I wouldn't say I'm avoiding it, but I have not gone and seeked it out myself for the fact that he's going to be here at some point. But everyone's saying, oh, you got to have him on. The family story is so good.
They've got a great family bond, you know.
Yeah?
If you watch our movie, we done a helmet for him. He's so from the heart with everything. So.
And this is the dad you're talking about?
Yeah.
Very good. Is he still on the East Coast?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Eric takes after him. Obviously, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, you know. But, Vic is really, really passionate about Porsches.
Having never met Vic, I can tell you what I know of Eric is that he's super solid. I can only assume that came from upbringing.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Good genes too.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about you. You race Porsches, I know that, and then from your bio and all the things, you have many businesses that sort of are in and around revolving around Porsche. Where do you want to start?
We can start from wherever you want, but yeah, I've got a body shop that we are actually a Porsche authorised. Mm-hmm. So we get cars sent to us from all around Australia and in Sydney, bad, like modern cars that have crashes that we've got to reinstate. And from that, it's allowed me to carry on with my passion, like racing the early ones. I love the early cars.
Yes.
I literally, I've got a later model cup car, but when you go fast in that, you're expected to go fast in that. Yeah. You go fast in the 356, it's like, wow, that car's fast, you know, and like, so that's why
there's
I
nothing
like
better than somebody being surprised by how fast you're going in what you're going fast in.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it means you're doing it.
Yeah, and we're always accused of cheating. You know, like we're not cheating. Like, how can you put a bigger engine? It's a 4-cylinder. There's nothing.
Yeah. There's no room.
Yeah.
Where are we going to hide it? Where are we hiding horsepower in this thing?
Yeah, no, but it's always fast, and we just won at Laguna Seca this year, like for the Rolex and the Bottoms Cup. We were pretty rapt that we beat Patrick Long. He had some mechanical issues, but we still...
But you're calling it a win. It's a win either way. Absolutely.
I'll take whatever win we can. Plus, as I was saying before, if I was in Patrick Long's shoes, like a Porsche driver and all that he's accomplished, there's no way in the world I'd go on the track with a heap of old blokes. No way in the world, in case that was to happen to him.
Yes. Oh, man. I love your perspective.
Yeah,
you've lived some life to get that perspective.
Yep, that's right, yeah. I've lived a lot of life.
God, I don't want to get right into it yet, but speaking of living life, you're a guy who was dead for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to just jump right in there?
Yeah. It was one morning, because I start work really early, I only do a couple of hours sleep a night.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been that way?
Well, I've done a lot in my life and a lot of sports and a lot of stuff, so something had to give, and the only thing that gave was sleep.
Only thing you were willing to...
It allowed me to do more and more and more, and just with the businesses, it's perspected that way, and I've just kept it that way.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Ryan.
I was there early one morning. It was like someone had punched me in the chest, and we just kept pushing. So I put a couple of the cars away, and it still kept doing.
So I kept working, is what I hear. So I kept on going.
So I went onto the internet, and I typed in heart attack symptoms, and
Does that automatically send the police to your house at this point?
No.
You would think it would.
Yeah, no, and it come up with the Victor Chang Society, who was a doctor in Australia that got murdered, and anyway, it said these are the symptoms of a heart attack, and I went, I've got that. I've got a problem. You know, it was by the time I got to the third one. So I locked the cars away, called an ambulance. Then I called my wife to let her know that I had a bit of a problem. And I stripped down. It was in July, and July is winter in Australia. So I stripped down to my underwear and I laid on the cold concrete because my body was hot. And then the sudden like that where you lay on it, it got more oxygen into me. Anyway, the ambulance got there.
It's a shock to the system.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The ambulance got there. They took me into hospital. And I just remember laying there and the walls went a bit wonky. And that was the last memory that I had.
Whoa.
And then when I woke up, my wife's coming up to me and she's all teary-eyed. And she said, I said to her, can you take the keys down for the boys and let them into the workshop? And she's bawling her eyes out. And I said, how the fuck I get in here? Like I'm in a different room. And then she told me what happened and they'd done a stent. I watched them do the operation and when all of a sudden there was just like a tree grew up on the screen when they were putting the stent in. And I said to the doctor, I could feel like I could get up and run now. And she goes, yeah, there was no blood getting to that part of your heart. So
I've always heard that from people. They say, I feel young, I feel vigor.
Yeah.
And
I was ready to go again. And 3 days after that, I went back to work and haven't stopped since. So
how long ago was that?
It was 7 years ago. So
Did you take that as a wake-up call? Did you change anything?
Nope. It's not going to make any difference. You know
so I can't think that I would do anything different. It's just funny to have the conversation with such honesty. I think I have my reference here, of course. David Letterman had a heart episode.
Yes.
And he took it as, well, he was always waiting for that to happen. I guess he had some stuff with maybe his dad had the same thing or something.
Yeah.
Did you have it in your family?
Yeah, my mother died of it, yeah.
So heart disease is already going on for you. Did you maybe in the back of your head always know? And
no, but
was there any relief when it finally happened?
No, not really. But when I felt that coming, that's why I went and checked it on heart attack. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't indigestion. I went and looked at it. It was heart attack. So somewhere or other I knew about it. Yeah.
Well, that's that race driver kept your cool the whole time, right? Like, well, we got to get through this now. All right.
It's just
I'm in the woods. I'm in the woods.
You know? It's no use changing anything or worrying about it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, like let's just try and avoid it. And,
well, that's kind of what I mean. Did you change your diet? Did you
Nope.
do anything? So you're not even going to try to avoid it.
You're not going to make me change Chinese food.
I don't want
no way
to.
in the world.
Oh, is it good? Is it good down there?
Good Chinese food there?
But I will tell you the best Chinese food in the world is in Atlanta, Georgia.
What?
Oh, yeah. When we run Road Atlanta, I literally can't wait for that last race out of the race straight to the Chinese restaurant.
Come on.
Yeah. There's a little one there that is just unbelievable.
What's it called? Ray Schaefer. What's the place?
That's what I was going to say. Do you know Ray Schaefer?
No, I know of him, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But what's the Chinese place? Do you
Can't
know?
think of the name of it.
Ray
right,
Schaefer.
well, Ray Schaefer.
Put your hat on.
Well, he'll know. He's got to know. Yeah. He and all those guys DJ and everybody. So we're very curious.
We're going to find out.
And we want to know because very specifically, we both grew up in and around New York City and around. Excellent Chinese food, at least we thought so growing up. Or at the very least, we had something that we identified as Chinese food. Here in Los Angeles, whatever we thought they had as Chinese, or whatever we thought was Chinese food doesn't exist. There's a whole different thing. So we have this crazy... It's like, it doesn't matter, but, something Grandma used to make that you can't get anymore.
Yep.
There's that whole thing.
Yep.
And we're planning a trip to Atlanta to go see Ray Schaefer. So the whole point of this is we got to find out what this is.
I'll
and
look
then
it up. I'll find it and I'll get it back to you.
I'm so excited.
I didn't mean to make that such a big
Ron
deal,
Goodman,
but
you're just
Mrs.
topping
Ryan
the
would not
charts.
forgive me if I didn't get all of this information, I assure you. All right, so you're not going to give up the Chinese food, which is good in Australia. What's good about it? What is it?
I don't know. Just you keep eating it and eating it and eating it. And you don't get that. Sometimes, when you go to Chinese restaurants, an hour later you're still tasting it or your heart's racing at 200 miles an hour. You don't get none of that.
Yeah, yours just shuts down. I salute you. All right, so that's that. I thought for sure it was going to be maybe from an accident or something. From something like that, so in your car accidents.
Just the accident was the neck, a few ribs and that sort of stuff, but no...
So not even the ankle?
No,
all right, can I pull up a picture here?
Yeah. This happened just before Monterey this year,
I should have warned everybody. Please look away. Please look away if you're not prepared to see this ankle.
That was this year?
All right,
so
what are we looking at here?
And that was...
Other than an EMT holding a janky ankle.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a laugh
with your
about
race
it.
car in the background.
Yeah, we're having a laugh about that, and the EMT couldn't believe it,
But you're in the shop here, so did you just fall off a ladder? What's the story?
Yeah, it's my back shop that's like a bit of a museum we're setting up. And I was up putting a painting up, and I was leaning over to the side, and just as I thought, I'm on a bit of it up, down I went. And that was like 3 meters, so what's that, about 12 foot, 10 foot for you guys?
Yes.
So it's not that far, but I hit the ground, rolled.
It is that far. It's that far.
As I went to get up, I thought, that foot's not walking anywhere, it's pointing the opposite direction, So I laid down, and we got the ambulance there, and that was like 3 weeks before I had to go to San Clemente for the Porsche show, like the 356 show. And
the big. Yeah.
And then it was a week and a half after that for Monterey. And then I rung my mate, Gary, that does all our engines, and I said, mate, we've got a problem. He goes, what's that? And mind you, I'd been on the green stick, the stick that they give you in the ambulance to try and make you not feel pain. So I was a bit, whoo.
Is that true? There's a thing?
Yeah.
It's like a morphine.
Yeah, you breathe on this. It's called the green whistle.
We don't have that here.
Yeah, I know why you
or at
don't
least
have
we
it.
don't have it.
all the drug addicts would be getting hit by cars and laying there waiting for it.
Yeah, sure. Sounds like it.
Literally puts you onto a different planet.
Wow.
And what the...
So you were already flying... I got you. So now I see. You're disoriented anyway.
Yeah, that was after, like when the CMT got there. And the CMT said to me, he said, the EMT, your emergency guy, sorry, he said, you're probably going to see pigs flying and that sort of stuff when we give... Really? I'm not used to this yet. Anyway, but I didn't see that. But what had happened is that I was laying in the ambulance and I could see the guys working on me, and I could see my foot in the air, and they're trying to manipulate it around before they transported me. I could hear them in English, but I was understanding some weird language, like it was like an alien English. I was thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Because I like to try and keep control of what I'm doing, but I had no control. So whatever happened, because my mate said that I rung him and I was on FaceTime with him, telling him, I don't think we're going. I don't even remember FaceTime, I don't remember calling him, nothing. So at the end of it, I sort of just said, look, showed him my foot, and he's gone. So that's all we could do. And then I remember, because I thought if we go to the racetrack with the boot on, because first of all, let's go back a bit. First of all, the doctor's putting the plaster on. And I went to the doctors afterwards with my wife, and I said, well, I'm going to America in a couple of weeks for a show, and we're going to have the plaster off, and I put a boot on. And he was like, no, you won't be going to America. I said, no, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, I'm going to America for a show. We're going to do it. Anyway, they cut the boot off with my wife there. Cut the plaster off. We put the boot on. I come over, I done San Clemente, the car show with the boot on. Went back home, done my work for the week, flew into LA. Boot come off into the bin, because I didn't want anyone to see me with a boot on at the racetrack, and then they say, you can't race with a broken ankle.
Wow.
And my missus keeps ringing up and she's going, are you wearing the boot? Yeah. The boot was already in the bin at LAX.
I'm starting to see a trend here, and I'm starting to understand certainly more of the man you are, okay?
Yeah.
Just trucking through, powering through, yeah. Just get to the finish.
Anyway, and we ended up... getting pole, or actually transgress, go back a bit, because everyone, as I led to before, says that we cheat because we're fast.
Oh, is that true? Is that right? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Because we're fast, they say that we cheat. Like, we don't cheat. That's the four-cylinder engine. So we had a problem with our flywheel come off the crank. So we had to pull it apart. That was for the pre-reunion. And Andy Prill from London, he come up and he said, that's where your problem is. You haven't got the spacer between the flywheel and the crank. And we thought we knew better than Porsche, so we didn't want to put it on there. Obviously, we didn't. Anyway, so we put that in, which alleviated that problem. So we said to the scrutineers, while we've got the engine out, we'll rebuild it in the container.
Oh, so everyone can see.
And
full
they can
transparency.
Measure it. And I said, you can measure it, touch it, feel it, do whatever you want. The only thing that you can't do is take photographs as to what we do inside there. Anyway, the scrutineers, because Gary that does my engines is fucking smart, like really smart. Scrutineer comes over, does all the measuring, does all the stuff, and he says,
scrutineers are judges for us, right?
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah. He says, they check the car. They said, you could go probably a bit bigger in the size. I said, I don't want to go bigger. That's what works for us. Anyway, we put the engine back together. They measured everything. They were happy with it. We went out to qualify and qualified first. And that scrutineer come up to him and he goes, that's how you show them how to do it.
There you go. Absolutely.
There's all the documentation that we're all legal, and then we went out and took pole positions.
And they even tell you, you could probably go with a little more displacement.
Yep.
We're good.
Yep.
We're good. We know what we're doing.
Yep.
Could you just stay out of the way? That'd be great.
Porsche know what they're doing. Plus, my guys spend a lot of time on the suspension.
Oh, that's where it is.
Yep. If you can drive a car fast through the corner, you're going to be fast. Anybody can go down a straight line fast, but going through the corners fast.
You always say that too. Curves.
Well, yeah, I mean, we drive the cars for it for sure. But yeah, people always say, well, what's that 0 to 60? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's what's your aunt's maiden name? I don't care. I don't know.
I can't
relevance
understand drag races. They spend more and more money to spend less and less time. and like they go, "Burp, that was a good race."
Yeah, that's one thing I will always agree with Jay Leno on, where he talks about the new cars. There's no pull. There's no you going through rowing through the gears, which I as a purist love to do. I guess these days it's all here, so you want it as fast as can be.
It's not as artistic.
I miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes more to drive the older cars. My Cup car is the last of the H patterns, similar to your car, I think it is. So.
Okay.
So I love driving that, but even from that to my car is a big difference.
Sure.
And then you get in from that one to a latest model Cup car, it's like, wow. The latest model Cup car, you could drive around having a cigarette if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, like, it drives itself. You're like...
It's even the fire up. We were. It's so cool. We were in motorsport the other day, down with Tim. As a matter of, Eric. As a matter of fact, Tim and Eric. I do that every time. Damn it! It's so funny. But he fired up the. They were working on something, and the club sport was fired up. It sounds just. It's spectacular. It's amazing in every way, and I would love to drive it. I'd love to own one. All the things. But when you fire it up, it just fires up like a new car.
Yep.
There's no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm complaining that it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no, is this thing going to start?
For me, a race car is never working until it's racing.
Yeah. Doesn't like to go slow.
Yeah, because that's what my dad taught me, so I've locked onto it. That Lime Rock thing when I was a kid, whatever.
Unbelievable.
Have you ever spent any time at Lime Rock?
No, I've not done Lime Rock.
It wouldn't. It's probably not big enough for you.
It would have been as part of the circuit, but it's hard for us because I've got to work to pay for my habit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So if I keep racing all this
right,
time,
you are your own ride.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
If I get a whole year of racing out, and then the workshop's gone, well, I got no racing the next year.
Yep.
So I've got to work, raise it up, and then go. So
Good
I've got
for
to pick the events.
Well, can we talk about that for a second? To me, that takes a tremendous amount of balance. How do you handle that? That's a lot. And you have multiple businesses.
Yeah,
this is not just one.
Yeah, but you also, if you've got good team around you, it allows you to do other things. Yeah, I can leave the workshop because I know that my guys will do the right thing by us, and I know that when I come back there'll be hiccups. And sure, that's just business, but I know that they will do their best to make sure that the place is running proper.
You've established your standards.
Correct. Yeah. And all my guys live up to my standards. Yeah, like as I was saying.
How do you deal with that? How does that happen? Is that just your training?
Yeah,
we've had this conversation with Rod Emery also.
Well, when I employ someone, I don't employ someone that's the best. I'm looking for passion because you can train ability. You can't train passion.
I just love hearing that that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's what you got. Yeah. And like the Rods and Magnus and everything that they do, you can tell that they're passionate about what they do. Mm-hmm. And if something goes wrong, they might be flying off the handle or upset about it, but it's because passion.
Yeah.
And even as I was saying to you, like
and that always blows over too.
Yeah.
You can't latch onto those moments. You know?
And it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say to me sometimes it's 0 to 400 in quarter of a second, but then it's back down again in quarter of a second.
Yeah, I used to say even about the old days. You remember? Did you get the American Chopper show over there with the guy? Let's get the bike done with the big mustache and the whole thing. I used to say that those guys that throw wrenches at each other and everything until that last blowout that became the end of the show and the whole thing. It was over in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? They all loved each other at the end of the day, and they were all pushing in the same direction.
Well, that all reverts back to passion.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't give a damn, something goes wrong. Well, someone else will fix it. Yeah. So.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
They're upset because they're passionate.
Correct.
Otherwise, why?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All of it sounds very like my athletic background to me, so it's very common through line, but it just seems so different in the car world with you guys because there's such a sophistication in what you guys are making and doing versus stuff I made was just like athletics. It's like
no, it's probably similar. It's probably very similar.
It's not just because what you were doing was your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody is good at something, and you knew what you were good at, and that's what you've done. You know, so it's not a matter of there's any differences. It's just everybody's got different levels and stuff. So
you're so positive.
That's the only way to be. When you've been dead, when you've had everything else, you've got to be positive. You know?
I love it. All right. Well, then I've got another picture here. Since we're going down the line, you do some work with a group that we've done some work with in the past. Who are these folks?
They're the guys from Saw and Raw.
Special Olympics?
Mm-hmm.
What is your involvement there?
We help them out.
Help them out?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We raise funds for them.
I think that's wonderful. Is that something you're not uncomfortable talking about?
Yeah. I didn't send you those pictures, bud.
Really?
Did I send you?
No,
those?
they love you. They sent a whole letter and just praise for you, and that photo was part of that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
They love.
They were excited that you were coming.
A few of the Australians were actually.
Yes.
I was getting a.
Let's talk about Taco T as well, because I've been saying to shot, to show, to cot. I didn't realize this whole time. I'm so sorry. Taco T is another big supporter of yours, and vice versa.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist. He's got a whole range of T-shirts ready to come out, but until he's signed off on every single one of them, he doesn't want to sell them. You know, like I keep saying to him, I say, put the stuff out there. You know, I said, no, I don't want it till it's perfect. And
yeah, well, that's me for a long time too, yeah. and that's a lesson you need to learn.
Well, I'm a bit that way. You know, I'm a bit that way with the cars that I build for people. You know? As I said to him, he's just designed stickers for us, some new decals, and I said, when can we get some? He said, I'll put them in the sun. He puts them on the window ledge in the house, half tapes them and everything else to see how the sun
to test
affects
them.
Yeah.
Like testing paint samples.
Yeah. I said, don't worry about it. Just get the things out.
That is great attention to
detail. Do I need the UV coating, all that stuff? It's brilliant.
No, that's pretty great.
Because these things are going to be sitting in the sun all day on people's cars.
It's really a lot of foresight in there.
Yeah,
just a lot of care.
If you look at his T-shirts,
he sent us some. That looked shirt that I wear, that's like the logo up here.
My yellow car one?
Yellow. Yeah, those are from...
And even his taco that he's got on the front, it's just, everything's so precise, you know, like, so precise, you know, and that's why I like him, you know. He's really, really good.
Yeah, well, big shout out to him. He was very excited, and actually was part of he recommended you before even this whole thing got put together.
You know, that's when I got the email from you, so I thought, no, this is someone having a lend to me here first. I thought it was one of our mates having a joke.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because it came through the taco guy. Like
no, you sent me an email saying, yeah, would you like to be on the show? And I'm going, why would they send me that? My suspicious nature was thinking, one of my guys are having a lend to me here. They're going to go, ha. You flew to LA for nothing. Like,
oh my gosh, that's awful.
You're amazing.
It's not even a SEMA. No, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I hope that it's okay for you.
This is fantastic, mate.
Okay. What else are you going to do while you're in town?
Nothing. I'll fly back out tonight.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're not even coming to Breakfast Club tomorrow.
Nope, I fly back out tonight. I literally...
I had no idea.
This is incredible.
I go back from here, jump on a plane and go home because I've got an appointment Saturday afternoon, so I got to go home.
We are so grateful. I can't even tell you. This is incredible.
No, actually, my wife actually said to me when I was going, she's glad because I don't sleep much, but she knows that I sleep on a plane.
Oh, so you needed some rest.
Yeah.
This is good. This is truly vacation for you.
And even today, like coming over here, because I stayed at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Yeah,
sure.
nice hotel.
Very old Hollywood.
Yeah, but I'm just laying back in the bed thinking, well, I've got nothing to do. I'll just lay here and watch the black and white TV. What am I going to do? Yeah? So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a riot. Well, that place is very historic, too.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, the guy at the front counter was telling me all about that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. told me the whole story.
You love the different places you can spend money.
And so spent a night in this room, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, no worries. You know, like,
yeah.
Is that the one, the secret hamburger place? The Roosevelt?
I don't know. It's right on. It's right by Jimmy Kimmel and the El Capitan and all that, right there on Hollywood.
I believe there's a hamburger restaurant there that's pretty awesome.
Hamburger Hamlet. I don't know if they're there anymore.
When we used to go, whenever we'd do a premiere across the street at the Chinese, whatever that is. Whenever we'd go across the street and have a lot of after parties over there.
Okay, then yeah, I think.
Big movie premieres across the street all the time. They would go across to
your
hotel
they've got some
afterwards.
Latin music awards or something setting up there for it now.
Oh yeah, so there you go. Yeah, big deal.
They've got it all set up there for it.
You have
You're not in town for that?
Great view.
No, he's fine. Not my cup of tea, they say.
I would say, what do you do in your free time? But you don't have any free time.
If I do have some downtime or free time, it's working on one of my cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few projects on the way at the moment, so we're.
What are you working on?
We're trying to finish off a 912. We're also finishing off my Mustang 66.
Ooh.
And just before I come
which
here...
Which 66? What do you have?
A 66 fast... coupe.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. My grandfather had that car.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Just a 289, but it was just it's such a neat car.
This one's a little bit bigger than a 289.
Is it?
Yeah. A little bit bigger. But,
what are you building?
All the engine and that's done. That's all finished. It's just the bodywork.
Oh.
But I just
well, you're the guy. You have the ability to do that. My goodness.
Yeah. And we just bought another 356B, which we're going to build a complete outlaw on. Like, going to go to town on this one. So.
Wow.
So it should be nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. We like that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's what we enjoy. You know, like, and between that, you know, I do my ice driving for Porsche each year in February.
I have a clip.
That is the best. Yeah.
Can I play this clip? It's only a few seconds long. Let's see. I think this might be some ice driving right here. Roll it, Hal. Yes.
No, the actual goal posts.
Yes.
I had the car, it was sliding, and I thought, I'm going to hit that. I thought, it's only going to be...
Did it have the pegs in?
No, they're made of solid lead. It damaged the back of my car. I thought it'd be like tubing, that plastic tubing. I thought, hey, I'll just hit it, might scratch it a bit.
I'm pretty sure ours are exactly that, because they move if you barrel into them here. They're on little pegs, and then those the pegs break with the ice and the whole bit.
It's a safety thing for skaters if you run into them.
Yeah,
this thing was heavy,
somebody could break their ankle,
lead.
for goodness sake.
People have lost teeth hitting the crossbar.
Yeah.
Did you know that Mrs. Ryan used to play hockey at her college?
Wow.
Yeah.
No joke,
So
ice hockey. She grew up in Rochester, New York, almost Canada. It is true, and French Canadian by heritage.
Yeah, well, my missus is French too, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's French, yeah.
Really? What's her name?
Christine.
That's a French name.
Yeah, Jimenez is the surname.
Yeah.
Out here
So
it's
pretty.
Jimenez because of the soft J.
Yeah.
I thought you were the soft J. Hey-o! I am curious what all right, here's what the adults like. What kind of kid were you? Were you always into cars?
Yeah.
Were you always into just going?
Yeah, I started out in Speedway. Like I was 15, 16 driving dirt tracks.
Oh, my goodness.
And I loved Speedway. And I'll never forget the first time that Christine's, because I've known her for millions of years, Christine's brother come to us with the race. And he said, I want you to roll it on that corner. And guess what happened? I got rolled on that corner.
Come on.
So he was barred from coming anymore. And it was like our first NASCAR race was the first time that Christine come. Sorry, not our first race, the first time that Christine come to a NASCAR race.
Okay, so the NASCAR information was new to me today.
Yeah.
I had no knowledge or awareness of the NASCAR part of your background. I think other people may be the same. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How does the Porsche driver go to drive NASCAR?
No, I drove NASCAR before Porsche.
Oh.
I went from
well, that actually
Speedway
makes
to
maybe
NASCAR,
more sense.
yeah.
Okay.
And then NASCAR died in Australia. Yeah, like it didn't take off the way it does here in America.
But were they big oval tracks like they are here,
Yeah,
or
exactly
were
the
they road
same.
course?
No, oval track and road course.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a small bang track and then the large Thunderdome in Melbourne.
Oh wow.
And then we'd run at the Indy Gold Coast with the Indy cars and that. But it just didn't take off in Australia. The funding wasn't there, and we just don't have the people like you have here. You know, like so it faded away. But I had a big crash in the NASCAR, big fireball and that sort of stuff. So
Fireball.
Yeah.
You remember it?
Yeah.
I couldn't get that out. Do you remember it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like hit the top wall, bottom wall, piled out of it while it exploded, and in another car the next day. So what else can you do?
Modern safety shit, I guess.
Yeah, but I was a bit banged up. Trust me, I felt like I'd gone about 3 rounds of Tyson.
I don't want that.
I was banged up bad. You know.
Yeah.
That's the one where you went over. You got out of the car and went over the barrier. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean. Up and over. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Well, those are the worst because then the emergency can't get to you.
Oh no, I was out of the car. No, the one that you're looking at where I went up over the wall, that was Indianapolis, I think, in the yellow car.
Yeah.
Yeah, car cut
At
out
Indianapolis Speedway? At Brickyard?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, car cut out in front of me and up into the air and into the wall. But that was in a Porsche, that one.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, open wheeler that shouldn't have been there, and he was a lot slower than us, and coming up to a left-hand corner, he decided to move right out to the right-hand side of the track.
You just clipped him?
Yeah, just
Launched
went over
you.
his back wheel and up into the air. Yeah, these things happen.
That's physics. I mean, there's nothing. If you get near something that's going up in at that G-force.
Yeah, you guys
There's
just have
nothing.
visceral experience, like with that, the physics of driving more than I do.
It's it's almost more like if you've ever seen a chainsaw or anything. Oh, you don't go near that end, you know.
Oh,
Constantly moving, and you don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So we've done
heart attacks and those accidents. I mean, your heart attack and those both of those 2 accidents. Where would you rank? Where would you rank those?
All about the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's
just
irrelevant.
life experience for you.
That's right,
Just
it's
chalk it
irrelevant,
up.
yeah.
Another day.
You know, if something happens, you know, like some people stub their toe and they might oh my God, the toe's killing me. But then
And tell everyone they know.
Yeah, and then
You
the
wouldn't
other
believe what
person
happened to
stops
me
it, just
this
keeps
morning.
walking past. Just different relevance to life, that's all. Yeah.
No, I know, but you sound so grounded.
Yeah, sometimes.
Not when you're throwing wrenches.
No.
You speak about the craziest things in the calmest way.
There it is.
And you said something earlier about like it's the
race
race car
driver.
mentality of like
Keeping
the
that heart rate
weirdest-
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like when you talk about your dad, like the firefighter mentality of like chaos is happening. Like how to stay
I never
cool.
even knew my dad as a firefighter. My dad was a firefighter way before I was born. I mean, he was a life member at the department, so we always visited
But he
and stuff like
seems
that.
to
But he
have
wasn't a
carried that.
firefighter. Exactly. But once it's in you forever, it seems to be, oh, that's just the type of person.
I just noticed it among the real Porsche guys, like the drivers rather, that like
Any hardcore driver, I wouldn't
embody
even limit
that
it to Porsche.
spirit.
Yeah.
It's the passion thing, but like it's an understood part of it that not everyone has.
I love hearing the perspective of somebody who...
Outside of that
Yes,
circle,
very
yeah,
much so.
yeah.
It's neat to see. I'll think of something. But it's just fascinating to hear because it's things I don't think about normally. I see it in you guys.
I think the whole Porsche community is like that. Most of the people.
Yeah.
That's what we were touching on before. Like I think because everybody's so passionate about their cars, they know that things happen to them. Like anybody that takes their car onto a racetrack expecting nothing to happen to it shouldn't be on that racetrack. Yeah, at some stage something's going to happen. You know, whether it be
you might get lucky a couple times.
Yeah, even it might just be a stone chip that you didn't want to get. You know, but there's something going to happen to that car. You know, it's just a fact of life.
It's a good perspective. I don't know if everyone has it. Maybe it's more relevant down. It's more prevalent down in Australia. People think about it more so.
Yeah, probably because we crash more often.
Is it because you're just crazy going for it, balls to the walls?
Yeah, but not only just the racing. Yeah, we got to worry about our kangaroos. We got to worry about on the road. We get a lot of work from kangaroos. You know.
I only have the cartoons where they were boxing and the whole bit, and then you see the random YouTube video here and there where one will just attack some asshole. But the guy was being an asshole, and I'm like, well, that fucking guy deserved everything he got.
Yeah, you see a kangaroo, you stay
I'm
away
on
from
Team
it.
Kangaroo,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It is. It's like you know what I'm saying. It
It
looks just
makes
like the
sense.
cartoons.
Yeah, you can't fault them sometimes.
Yeah, and the koala, the other thing too. I always heard they're nasty. They look adorable.
No, koalas aren't.
I always heard they're so adorable. They smell and they're not nice. Oh my goodness! I can't believe that you're leaving tonight. I can't believe. I really can't believe this. I'm so grateful. What are we not talking about? I feel like this is. I don't want to waste anything here. What kind of kid were you? We never got there.
I was just a normal kid.
What does that mean?
Just a normal Australian kid. Yeah, got into trouble like everybody else.
Yeah, but I mean, did you schoolwork and all that stuff?
Yeah, I done my schoolwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
I finished in year 10, which is like fourth form in Australia, and then I went and got an apprenticeship as a panel beater. So literally, and I didn't know whether I wanted to be what in my life. The people that lived across the road from us, I lost my parents when I was young.
I'm sorry. How old were you?
16, and then my dad committed suicide in 17. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
I was 18 when my dad died, but goodness, that sounds awful.
No, it's awful in one way, but it's just all part of life, you know.
Yeah, it's part of your
no
story.
matter how bad it is, there's someone else that's worse off, you know what I mean? Like so. But then I was working on the assembly line with the people across the road from us. Like literally, the fridge would come down, door open, close the door, and put a sticker on the way. I went, that was my job. What the fuck am I going to do? Open and close fridge doors all day. You know?
Yeah, not very stimulating.
And then we were leaving, and outside a smasher bears that had a sign saying "Boys Wanted." So I went in there and panel beating. I didn't even know about it. You know, I'd done woodwork at school. I didn't even do metalwork. So, and I loved it, and made a business out of it, and it's done me well. So I'm not complaining about it.
I mean, obviously, there's probably many steps between you learning bodywork and starting a business about it. But what it sounds like. I don't know some of the terms, but this sounds more like the old school craftsmanship, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, going back to my knowledge comes from that. Let's get the bike done. The English wheel and all that stuff.
Unfortunately, the young kids this day and age, a lot of them coming through, they're on the broom the first day, then the second day they're ready for my job. They know it all. Yeah.
So that's
what they
down
think.
there too.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
But
Australia's the same.
What I find is when push comes to shove, they're going to want to 3D print it at the end of the day, and I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. You're probably right there, but they won't be able to 3D print a repair. Yeah, you look at the craftsmanship that Rob does.
They won't be able to. Yeah, it's not the same. there isn't. Gosh, I don't want to start this whole thing. I'm very passionate about this whole.
Yep.
Anything can be anything. Everything can be anything. Anything can be everything, and vice versa. At this point, we're in that place.
Yep.
I believe at this point in time. I think that people need to decide what the hell they want to be, what the hell they want to do, and then do it so well that they get sick about it.
Yeah.
That it's just what you do, what we're doing here. I'm not saying that we're that good about it, but we're trying to be, so much so that it's damn near killing us, and we get up every day and we love it.
That's the passion. That's what I was saying before. Like, you cannot teach someone passion. That no matter how much you try and beat it into them.
Yeah. Well, so what is it about Porsche then that always see that the common denominator for all of us is the passion? We don't drive these cars because they're cool.
Yeah.
What is it about Porsche and passion?
The...
Magnus says that a lot. Porsche passion, Porsche passion.
Yeah.
Why are they so connected? And it's not just because they begin with a P.
It's because they're perfect, and that begins with a P. Yeah, and it goes back to what I said before when, with the flywheel on the crank, it's just a very small washer.
How funny! Look at you.
That we didn't think that we'd need it. And Andy Prill said, well, if you put that on, you won't have a problem. And we haven't had a problem since we put it on.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and that's a competitor. At least he let us know. You know, if someone was beating me to be, yeah, stick it on like that again.
For years, forever.
Yeah,
You're going to save weight. Yeah. Every little bit counts.
Yeah, well, that's more or less what we try. But
Hilarious.
as we laugh at each other, we think, well, Porsche's got $25 billion to do research, and we've got $25. We know better. Let's just take it off.
Oh my goodness, I love it. We're running out of time, but is there anything specifically that you wanted to talk about today, or to impart about either your business or anything you wanted to plug, anything at all, while you have the time and the forum to do so? We're so grateful you're here.
Oh, you
have the floor, that kind of thing.
I'm rapt that you guys wanted me here.
That's perhaps why we're more grateful. You don't understand. You're such a delight.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far yet.
I would.
We went that far. That's it. There's the line. Over it.
I have two questions if you have nothing else.
Yep.
Well, here are my questions. Whatever.
Good for you.
The documentary that you did, The Road to Monterey,
Yes.
I wanted to make sure just to say kudos publicly, because it's a really great story.
We know the story, but we're going to watch it, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
After the show.
Well, also with that Qantas have confirmed that it's going on the flights.
You just told me that.
Yeah.
So
You go ahead, tell the story, and then what this exciting news means.
Well, I do want to know why do it, because there's a lot of.
I want you to tell what this news is, and then why it's. I want people to know what you're talking about. No one's seen this.
The Road to Monterey is a documentary that is on YouTube, and I don't know if it's anywhere else. Is it anywhere else? It'll be on Qantas.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
And now it's going to be picked up. No, this is your news. I was trying to have you give it to everybody.
It wasn't news. It was a question. Oh, God damn it. Whatever. I like your documentary, The Road to Monterey. Everyone can watch it. It's on YouTube. And Qantas.
And it's just getting picked up now on the Qantas Airlines.
No, we've been talking with Qantas for about 9 months. We had to do some cutting down on it and that sort of stuff. And as I said, we just got a text from the third in charge over there just as I was coming here and said, yeah, it's happening. So it's
That's
like, wow.
fantastic.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'll have to be on a plane and just leave it on that screen.
Yeah. In fact, I'd stand up front looking for beverages and stuff.
Did I leave that on the... But that won the German Auto Car Awards. So we were pretty wrapped with that.
It's a full feature-length documentary.
Yeah, it goes for an hour and a half.
That's what I was going to say.
It actually started out because what had happened the first year of Monterey, the cars got lost in New Zealand. And
what?
Yeah, the container. What the shipping company done was that they charged us for a direct freight, but then they bunny hop it apparently, which is cheaper. So they take it off and put on another one, and somewhere or another it just got left behind. Anyway, we had to strip it down and got put on a plane and got taken over to California. So I said to my mate Rob Sheeran, who's the photographer, and I said, why don't we just make out it happens again this year and we'll just film it and just do a bit of joking around and just a little thing for us to put together.
That is so funny.
He goes, yeah, that'll be a good idea. And then I got the call on the Wednesday morning, I think it was, because it was midweek, and they said that the car had been offloaded in New Zealand and that we can't find it. And I thought, no, what the fuck's going on here?
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
Hands
they
up,
said
sorry.
that they've got a tracking on it, they'll chase it and everything else. So I rung up Rob and I said, Rob,
we don't have to write anything.
The car
Get
has
the
been taken off. And he goes, Ron, there's no camera set up and we're not filming yet. I said, I ain't fucking joking. It's gone. So anyway, we put all this film together, and then we ended up with so much footage because we had an accident at Indianapolis that year. We had so many things go wrong, and we call it the Monterey Curse now because every year before we go, something goes wrong. Even my foot got broken this year.
Oh my gosh!
Car got there on time, but my foot got broken. So it's something that happens
crazy.
to us.
That's crazy.
So anyway, after that, we had all this footage. And then we went to a guy called Paolo, a mate of ours, and we said, can you do something with this? And he looked at all this footage and he goes, my God, where do I start? And we ended up with an 1.5 hour documentary and it won a few awards. So
that's outstanding.
We're pretty happy with it.
And now it's going to be on airplanes.
Yeah, I can't wait till it goes on Qantas. You know, I will take a trip.
That's your only sleep that you get, Ron Goodman. You can't.
I'll be sleeping with it on.
Sacrifice. It's the only sleep you get.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping with it on so that the air hostess goes, is that you? Oh, yeah.
Pardon me, sir. I hate to disturb your sleep, but I happen to have this pen and paper. If I could just get your autograph.
Oh, that's incredible.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this experience. We've
just bloody oath. It's
absolutely enjoyed talking to you.
I have one more question.
Oh, please.
What does the 23 mean?
In Australia, I used to race with 05, which was the because I was sponsored by the police for the anti-drink drive with the NASCAR and that sort of stuff. But so was another driver, Peter Brock, and he was up here, I'm down here. He got killed in an accident. So it's a bit hard to use that number. So 2 and 3 is 5.
Whoa.
So
simple.
Yeah. So I just kept that number that way, you know. So it's an easy way because you run around in Australia with 05 and you look like a bit of a wannabe.
At this point, sure. Like we're in a Senna number now or something.
Yeah, correct,
sure.
yeah.
Let's see. You are able to be followed on the social media at Speed 0023, as we addressed earlier. Now it is the time to do the segment we call Billboard. Not more to come. Billboard. Where can people catch up with you, and where can people follow what you've got going on? If there's anything you want to plug, obviously Qantas Airlines, but anything else, this is your opportunity to do so.
Yeah, well, Speed 0023 is the Instagram. And it'd be good if you go to Qantas or even jump on a Qantas flight to watch the movie if you don't want to watch it on YouTube.
That's right, go get a flight to Qantas.
Yeah, get a flight to LA. Come over to Monterey this year to watch us race. Yeah, that's about it. And P23 is a polish line that I've got, so that's coming out soon. So,
a what line?
Polish, car polishes.
Okay,
I've got a whole.
I couldn't understand.
Yeah. No, I've got a whole range of car enhancement products.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it's taken us a while to get it to where it is, but back to the perfection thing, I didn't like the way that you held the bottle, so we redesigned that.
Fantastic. What is it called?
P23.
P23.
Yep.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I love it. There's a multifaceted also for the people here in Los Angeles. D23 is a Disney, sort of an insider's Disney thing.
Okay.
You know what Disney is. They have that in Australia, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like an insider's, it's like their secret club or whatever, D23. So this P23 is kind of a neat thing. You can put it right out there.
They got the right number, 23. So.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know, it's 5. R111 is, for me, it's more 3 than 111.
Oh, is it? Why
it's
did
111.
Yeah. Why is that?
Oh, it's too deep. Sorry, we're out of time. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
But I don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I really don't.
Yeah.
It seems to, it's taken on its own meaning to other people. We both find that when other people ask, they're asking for a reason. What's the 111 about? Because they've already got something that 111 is to them.
Yes.
And it's almost like song lyrics where I don't want to take any. It seems to be a thing for people, and if they relate to it for whatever reason, even if it's, in fact, more specifically, if it's something personal for them, great.
Yeah.
You don't need to know my stuff. Not you, but.
There's no need to invalidate what anyone thinks just because of what you think. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of everything that where I'm about. I know you're about that. Like everyone, I think would be better if you. There's no judgment needed.
Yeah, and I sort of think that is why this works with you guys. It's no judgment sort of thing. You're unbelievable. I've been here. The openness, the straightforwardness. I liked your email that said we're a no bullshit type people. That's my person. You know what I mean?
Speak your truth, no bullshit. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, as long as it's authentic.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yep.
You know, we're doing a sort of a Hollywoody show busy type thing, and we want to pull the curtain back and say this is how they make all the bullshit.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, funny you should say that. My saying at home is when something's bullshit, we say it's Hollywood.
Yeah, but see, so
instead of saying
self-awareness
that's
goes a
bullshit,
long
just
way.
say, like, that's Hollywood. You know, that's bullshit. You know.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah, fake. Yeah. Maybe you'd better cut that bit out.
No, it's the truth.
At least till I'm out of the country.
It's going to be on Quantum.
What time's your flight? Oh my goodness, Ron Goodman, it's been a delight talking to you.
No,
I mean that.
It's been a pleasure being here. It really, very humbling.
Please don't book a flight just to do it, but please come back anytime. If you go to SEMA every year, make this one of your stops. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just bounce this on. Bring your wife if she normally comes with you the whole thing.
Yep.
Then just make it a thing next year.
Yep.
Our plan is to still be here, whether it's physically here or whether we're in another space. The show will be here.
Oh, I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
I appreciate that.
Really,
You've said some very nice things before. Thank you so very much for your
it's just
support.
fact, as you said, no Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, but your support and I guess people are just coming out of the woodwork now, and it really means the world to us because we've believed in this for a long time.
Seeing
We
the
always knew what we were.
Pull, the way you guys pull is really, really cool. Very appreciative.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
And the fact that you see where we're going, like you get
Yeah.
the long game.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Life's all about that too. Right? You know, everything's about. It's live for the moment, but try and make it to the end too.
Just like race driving, man.
Yep.
You're turning through this corner, but your eyes are 3 ahead.
No, I'm usually about 5 ahead.
Fine. No, you're better than me. All right, Mrs. Ryan, let's see. What else do we have? What's tomorrow?
Friday.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's the end of the week. You're our big Thursday guest.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Friday, Mrs. Ryan, so we have a breakfast club, and then Saturday we've got Malibu and Muffins over at Malibu Kitchen because we haven't been there in a bit, and then Sunday is the 5C event down at Milla Chocolates.
Milla.
Yeah, Gertrude's event, 5C, and that's always a good time. Oh, and then next week we've got some great guests coming in next week too. I know the Smoking Tire is here, and some more people. So
Lauren, we rescheduled Lauren.
Fantastic.
Great to see her.
Lauren Rochelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good stuff all around. I love you so very much, Mrs. Ryan. We love you so very much, Ron Goodman.
No, thanks for having us. It was absolutely humbling, and it was fantastic. Yeah.
Come back anytime. You're very, very welcome here. We love everybody at home. Please love one another. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope to see you out there, and we will be back next week.